Hello, everybody, and welcome to SpectrumTTRPG presents Star Trek Lower Decks New Moon. Jazz hands and everything. Hello, I am Jay, and I will be your Fleet Admiral, otherwise known as your Game Master, for the next 3 sessions, unless something goes horribly wrong and we just blow up the shit this time, and then have 2 weeks off to party instead. I'm now going to hand over to my lovely players, and we haven't practiced this order, so we'll go over to you first, Killian.
Oh, hi, I'm Killian. I'm going to be playing for Avate, the liberated Borg Aurelian.
Awesome. Nice to meet you. Over to you, Matt.
Hello, I am Matt. I am going to be playing the very beige human Jonathan Richards.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. Over to you, Michael.
Hello, I am Michael, the only Michael here today. The other one has been dealt with. And I will be playing Roxamara, half Klingon, half Betazoid. All problems.
Nice to meet you, the one and only Michael Chesney Hawks. And finally, but by no means leastily, Sabina.
Hi, I am Sabina. I will be playing Saleya, the Vulcan medical officer.
Awesome. Nice to meet you too. And just to note it, yes, I absolutely used us running this game as the excuse to treat myself to buy my very own Lower Decks uniform shirt and combat. Whoop, whoop. I'm such a nerd, and I don't care. I'm nerdy, and I know it. Cool.
Convenient.
Yeah, there's
Unlocked.
Yes, if anybody didn't realize that they were in danger by now, they are indeed in an awful lot of danger. That's vodka, not water.
I was going to say.
Yeah, you know, start as you mean to go on. They don't put me in charge because I'm good, just because I drink a lot. That's not true. Literally. Okay, so a little bit of cinematics with this game. So we're going to start with a cold open. Camera looking out over space. Sun is just off to one side because you should never look directly at the sun. The camera is slowly pulling backwards through space, away from the sun, as the Earth slips into view, just in shot. And then we back through a blue energy field and into the space dock, Starbase one, I should say, that's the correct term. A man's voice starts to give a voiceover. Space. It's spacious. Also ridiculously unforgiving. Seriously, it will literally suck the life right out of you if you give it the chance, so my advice is don't give it that chance. A rather flat and unimpressed sounding female voice goes, the fact that you're talking to yourself makes me think that I should speak to Dr. Thesia on your behalf. A Bajoran man in a spacesuit turns to a Vulcan woman in an identical spacesuit with a knowing look, and he smiles wryly. That would be illogical. Explain. Well, then you'd be under the command of the first officer. You know, most species would just roll their eyes, but with you, it's always the eyebrow, isn't it? Well, it is, as you say, a classic, Captain. Right, let's get this done. And the camera swaps to being just over his shoulder as he kneels down. And you just see his arms start to move. And then he hands a pen up over his shoulder. And the woman kneels down next to him. Similar sort of motion. As the camera pulls back, you can see that on this piece of grey hull are written the words Captain Tren Brahal and Lieutenant Commander Tok. They both stand, and the camera pulls back further to show that these two figures are stood atop the saucer section of the USS Indala, registration number NCC 80169.
Nice.
The captain turns to his lieutenant commander and goes, there. Now she's ready. And then the opening credits happen. There's all sorts of music, and there's shit zipping past planets, and there's black holes, and there's pew-pew lasers, and there's people running down corridors, there's phasers, yeah.
Our laser budget got cut.
Oh, yeah, the laser budget got cut. Something to do with eyebrows and people wearing green. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, so that happened. I'll just do a little bit of note moving. Yes. So we are off. On screen, we now cut to Captain Tren walking through the streets of San Francisco, a bag slung over one shoulder, wearing a very casual, not very captainly hooded top with his hood up. And occasionally, as he's going through the streets, he's checking over his shoulder. The voiceover begins. Captain's log, stardate. Well, it's the day before I finally get to take the Indala out of dock and into space. The crew is briefed, and other than my first officer of choice, they're all on Earth or Starbase 1, so I'm not anticipating any problems getting boots on deck for our first mission. Thankfully, nothing too taxing, just delivering aid and support to the people of Meglin. It'll only take a few hours to get there, assuming no pirates swashing their buckles. Oh, computer, delete that. Assuming no run-ins with any pirates in the area. Now that my assigned first officer has finally arrived, I've delegated the remaining paperwork to him, not as punishment for being so damned late, but entirely as penance for being so damned late. Apparently the hemlines on his new scant uniforms weren't right, and he demanded that they be redone. Let's hope the profits will ensure that he is meticulous with his work as he is with his uniform. We will find out tomorrow when we launch. Anyway, having completed my brief with Lieutenant Commander Tok, I'm off to make the most of the rest of my last evening without artificial gravity. We see the captain slip down a back alley, and he comes alongside a purple door. He checks his shoulder one last time, presses his shoulder against it, and slips into an unknown building. Bum, bum, bum. Foreshadowing. The scene then shifts. Solea, hello to you.
Oh, hi.
No, hello. What is Solea doing with her last evening on Earth and or Starbase 1?
Solea would be on Earth, having just
Okay.
graduated the academy.
Mhm.
She was dragged out to celebrate by some friends, dinner, maybe a club. And she is not entirely thrilled by it, but she enjoyed dinner. She is enjoying dinner, but a club, she's like, I'm okay, I guess.
Okay.
I guess it's logical.
So it would be a logical progression of the evening. What is the topic of conversation across the dinner table of the evening? What is she and her friends discussing?
Probably the topic of conversation would be about finals, how hard they were, excitement on their new assignments coming up, where they are being posted if it was classified or not, and the secrecy if it was classified. Solea would probably not be giving too much away on her positioning in Starfleet, but she is excited nonetheless, though she is hiding that emotion being a Vulcan.
Yeah, excited in that Vulcan way, which means very much a...
Exactly.
As opposed to being very cross, which is very much a...
Exactly.
You know, it's like that T-shirt with the happy, sad, excited, cross, miserable. Nice. Right. So you're having a lovely time. Very pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
How many friends are you out with, out of curiosity?
Probably about 3 others.
3. Okay.
Oh no.
Now this is my rolling for on a scale of boring to hijinks. Where's the evening going to go? So your friends are talking excitedly about different bars you can go to. One of them is talking about they've heard that Choo Choo are going to be playing, the Choo Choo sisters are going to be playing, and that's really exciting because they've not been to Earth in ages. And like, oh my God, could you imagine going on like your last night before you're posting? And oh, wouldn't that be amazing? It'd be so exciting. no, the tickets have gone, but they could probably go and get some. No, it's not worth it. And they could probably sneak into the back window, but no, let's not. One of them suggests, going for a quiet high-class drink at maybe a really posh bar, something quite classy, something very nice, very pleasing. And one of them suggests, well, we could always pop to Guinan's. I think they've got a live act on this evening.
A live act?
Yeah, like a singer.
I do enjoy music.
Cool. Well, let's go there then, because everybody else is going to be there too. For no reason. Cool. So, conversation continues about maybe the various different sounds that warp cores make and what your friends anticipate their warp cores are more likely to sound like, whether they're more of a zzz or a or a
Or a nice purr.
Yeah. Yeah. Or whether they're more of a two-stroke engine. But who knows? But you'll find out tomorrow. That is for certain. And out of curiosity, how will Soleil be making her way to the Indala tomorrow? Will she be going by shuttlecraft? Will she be transporting?
I think she would be teleported.
Okay.
Transport.
It is.
Words?
Yeah, I know. I always go to say one, and then my brain goes, "No, say the other one." And it's like, no, that wasn't the right one. You'll be doing the thing. You're doing the disco light show to the ship. Cool. Yeah, it's the most efficient way. Why wouldn't you? Okay.
Yep.
So
it's only logical.
it is. See, I've just written teleport, but my brain's going transport.
No McCoys here.
You're going to be. You will telesport to the ship. Something like that. Something like that. Indeed. Cool. So you finish your meal and the conversation continues as you walk / hitch a hover cab, I guess, over towards Guinan's. So I just make this bigger so I can read it. The camera kind of follows you, getting into the hover cab, and then pans away across San Francisco, and then starts to approach a building. Music is playing already as the camera glides over San Francisco. It's kind of a sultry, sassy kind of a beat. The camera dips down, taking in the neon sign for Guinan's, and drifts through the door. The bar is busy. There's kind of a warm and friendly vibe going on, and there's a slight haze in the air, which is interesting, considering that nobody smokes and hasn't done for centuries. Patrons line the bar, a few are chatting, some are sat at tables in front of a stage where there's a tall, slender figure with like the blackest of black hair as they make their way towards a microphone. They start to sing, "Show a little more, show a little less, add a little smoke, welcome to burlesque." The sign that creeps in to shot next to them informs us that this is Sharon, the Romulan tribute act of an ancient Earth singer called Cher. She continues about everything you dream of but never can possess. Nothing's what it seems. Welcome to burlesque. As the camera elevator shifts down, kind of underneath the tables, through the void between the floors, to the space underneath Guinan's, where there is a very different vibe. It's kind of a bit more grimy, but also in a very clean and organized way. The lighting seems much more stark and also dimly lit, but everything that needs to be seen can be seen. It's packed with a very different clientele, much less dressed, much more functionally dressed, for a different night, as two fighters are set about beating 7 bells out of each other in a ring in the middle of the room. The music continues to play, and shot by shot, as the fighters exchange blows in slow motion, matches the pace with the music. Lots of like wobbly cheeks and eyes rolling. Alone, clean tooth, cartwheels through the air, peacefully. And then as there's a nice cha-cha-cha in the music, there are 3 quick cuts of an unknown fighter being slammed into the floor 3 different times in 3 different positions before being called knocked out. And at that moment, the scene picks back up to normal speed, the music fades into the background, and the scene springs to life as bets change hands, people go to get drinks, and the camera swoops to find in Guinan's underground fight club, in no way endorsed by the United Federation Planets or Starfleet or in any way, shape or form by Q. We find Jonathan Richards, I should say, 4 of 8, and Rock Samara. What are you 3 doing in Guinan's underground fight club that's in no way endorsed by Starfleet or the United Federation of Planets or Q?
Jesus Christ.
4 of 8 is kind of elbowing the person next to her. Doesn't know them. Haha. He's a bruiser because he's all bruised, and then walks away to get a drink.
Wow. Rock is currently walking a large, extraordinarily alcoholic beverage over to just somebody at a random table, sets it down in front of them, drink this, you're emoting too hard, and walks away.
Jonathan is sitting at a table watching the fighting. He's got his pad in front of him, just reading up on the ship, kind of splitting his attention between the two, the events going on in front of him, and sort of like the briefing.
Cool. So the 3 of you there together, or are you just happening to both 3 of you being in the same place?
I think we showed up together when we left the briefing, realizing we all frequented there and had seen each other there before. And so then we're like, hey, let's go. And then kind of split off a little bit when we got there based on who we are as humanoids.
Yeah. Jonathan's not going to do any fighting, but he knows that odds are someone else is definitely going to. And he will quite happily watch.
Indeed, there is a fight board on the wall. That's what I'm calling it. It probably has a proper name, but I don't know. A menu, a roster, schedule, cast list? No.
Bracket.
Yeah.
Big bracket.
Thank you.
Definitely not a menu.
Yeah. A menu.
What
Pick
would you
your
like to
fighter.
fight today?
Starters, I'd like to have a Ferengi, and then for my main course, I'll have a Klingon, and dessert, I'll have a Bajoran. Thank you, goodbye. No, more like a wine menu. Your fighting sommelier comes over. I'm looking for something with a robust body and a good bouquet. Okay, yay, that took how long? 20 minutes, off track. Perfect. Okay, so there's one more match, and then that's when it will be your match, Rock. So you've got a little bit of time to get yourself together and get yourself ready.
Good. Hopefully it's just enough time for that guy to stop emoting. It's distracting.
Yes. So, and why? Why is it distracting to you?
Because as a half betazoid, Rock is an empath. And unfortunately, that means that guy who obviously just got broken up with is here in my brain. And it's annoying.
Dude, but you don't understand.
No. Take this glass, put it in your mouth. You'll feel better, and so will I.
The whole glass. How many umbrellas are in the top of this drink?
There are no umbrellas for ease of access.
All right. I was going to say, he was going to roll for eye damage. This drink comes with no eye pain dishonor. Fantastic. There goes my shenanigans. He takes his drink and he shuffles over. No, actually, I'm going to make you roll for this.
All right.
I am going to look at what I'm going to make you roll for this. Where's my chart of things to roll against gone? Reference materials, that's what I need. That is going to be... I will say I would like it to be presence and command.
That felt right. Yeah.
Unless you want to pitch it for...
I mean, I would love
No,
to
but I
roll
think-
other things. That does seem to be the most appropriate.
Yeah. I'd like to
and
roll
I-
violence to stop the guy
Exactly.
from
I'd like to make him drink it.
drink this. Bang! Oh, you're unconscious. Never mind.
Can I use psychology as a focus?
No, because you're just trying to convince somebody to turn to
Fair enough.
alcoholism.
Fair enough. Had to try.
The other end of that spectrum. Worst psychologist ever.
Have you tried drinking about it?
Have you thought about turning to alcohol?
I will give you a threat to buy a die.
Okay, thank you.
We're starting off hot.
Yeah, that won't come back and haunt you, I'm sure.
Oh my lord.
Oh, that was a crit, though. That's good. Low numbers are good numbers, remember.
Yes.
So, yes, that's 3 successes. So he just kind of looks up at you, wipes his nose on his sleeve, and takes a drink and goes and sits in a different corner of the bar and starts sipping the drink through the straw. And tries to emote more quietly. What about the cool. So fight is ongoing. Matthew, you said you were researching the ship. What exactly are you looking for? Are you looking for anything in particular? Are you just looking up schematics, just high-level stuff, or inner workings, or...
He's actually, weird as it may sound, he's just looking at the ship. He's just kind of got a zoomed out view of the ship against the backdrop of space, and he's just kind of sort of zooming around it,
Okay.
like panning around the
He's
ship.
Google Mapsing this ship.
Yeah, he's just sort of got an appreciative look up on his face, and as he's looking at it, he does just kind of say to himself, well, she may not be pretty, but she does look like she'll go fast. Take a beating.
At that moment, Four is walking past him as he says that under his breath and says, "Are you talking about your girlfriend?"
No, for the ship. Look here.
Oh! Those are all good things to know then. I
Yeah.
apologize to whoever you may be sleeping with, and walks past again.
Just so you know, as players, I have added a picture of the ship into the journal in the USS Indala entry. So as well as the schematic with the topside 4.5 views, I've also done the ship in space view, which is probably exactly the one that you're looking at the moment. Ensign Richards. A hush fell over the crowd as they all clicked furiously to try and get to the right page.
Pretty. Yeah. And he's just sort of in his head making plans to try when they go over by shuttle tomorrow, try and convince whoever is piloting said shuttle to maybe let him just have a look around before heading straight to the ship.
Do that whole taking the view,
Yeah,
taking the view, taking the view.
please.
Cool. Okie dokie. So 4 of 8, and you're sauntering around the club, making interesting comments. How is your evening going generally, 4 of 8?
I mean, I think I've made some pretty good jokes tonight, so I've probably made at least one friend.
Statistically, it's most probable. Is 4 of 8 having a good time? How is 4 of 8 feeling about upcoming posting?
4 doesn't really remember what having a good time is like, because up until entering Starfleet Academy, had been a Borg drone for quite some time. So they're excited to be on the ship and going out and helping others the way that they were helped. But they're apprehensive about the other people on the ship. Like, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to make some friends, but I do come off as kind of weird and abrasive.
It's the human condition, I believe. I just realised that I don't actually have our chat window open. That's a good question. So feel free to ask that question out loud. So did we get any momentum off that roll? So that was from the convincing the emo guy to go and emo somewhere else. Yes, actually, it's a good point. You did get a momentum from that. A momenti. When I'm on 9 threat.
Wow.
See, I have my trays of momentum and threat in front of me. So if I do forget to up and down the numbers, can any of you up and down the numbers?
I can.
Yes, you can. Excellent.
Yeah.
So I can try and trust people to manage that for me. But yeah, let's make it a discussion topic. If I skip past it without talking about it, remind me, because I'll probably forget. I'm like, story points. Do we have those? No, wait. Use an upshift. No, wait. Don't. Really. Please don't. Cool.
Advantage?
Yeah, is that with edge? What's my armor class? Do I get sneak attack? Stop.
Age again?
Okie dokie. So you hear the bell go. The fight in the ring has finished. Rock, you are up next, and the betting is now open for Rock versus 3 ?
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun dun dun, indeed. They are the. If you touch the 3 question marks on any of the electronic walls, that's the noise that they make. It's not like dun dun dun, because that would be 3 question marks and an exclamation mark. It's dun dun dun.
For each threat, you gain 1 bonus on that can expand on bonus damage. Nice. That's okay. Good board.
4 walks back up to Jonathan. I will make a bet with you on this fight. I bet you the next round of drinks that our new friend here, Rock, loses to whoever this 3 is.
You believe that he will give in, or that he will be knocked out?
I mean, I've sparred with him, and he's okay, but I don't know that he's a great fighter.
Interesting.
Rock,
I
can you
believe
hear
that
this?
Rock will win this fight.
I bet you the next round then, and sticks out her
Agreed.
hand to shake.
And
Rude.
he taps a little message on his pads. And it just says, win or you may owe us all a round of drinks.
All?
Win or eternal dishonor on your house.
Yeah.
Dishonor on your cow!
Cow?
What is a cow?
Which he pings off to Rock.
What?
The message was sent to you,
Yep.
that he said.
Yeah. That was my response.
I've made a bet that you will win this fight against 3 ?
Well, yeah, of
And
course.
the wager is drinks.
Great.
So
Who's
please
betting
do let
against
know.
me?
Well, if you win, I will reveal that information.
High
If
stakes.
you look
and
over,
bet.
he's very clearly just standing there with 4.
Yeah, there's nobody else around.
There's a strange absence of people around Jonathan and this part Borg, part Aurelian,
Right.
who are just like
can't
the
imagine
weirdest
why.
looking couple in the place. Wonderful, like yellow plumage, peppered with like Borg implants, and then beige.
Like the most unremarkable individual you could, you look at him, you look away, you've already forgotten what he looked like.
Yeah. It's like the silence in Doctor Who.
He's just so
I
ordinary.
thought we discontinued you.
I was
Yeah.
talking.
Cool. So,
Right. Well, I'll make sure to win then. Not that I was gonna. Yeah. Who are you people? Why am I near you?
why are you so old? Right. Okay. So you. Well, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
The
Step in
bell
the
goes
ring.
to pull you to the arena. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you
Find out
step
who
into
the
the ring. Now,
mystery opponent is.
yeah. We'll see if this sticks to my face. If not, I have a plan B before a plan C. So, is there enough
Oh
glue on
my
this from
God.
It's like a Batman like mask. You see,
Yes.
this is going to need duct tape. Bear with.
That sounds
Which might not actually stick to the other glue, but
so
amazing.
nice.
I think I know
Yeah,
what's
no
happening.
expense.
I love it.
Will it stick? Will it hold? We'll see. Anyway, imagine the eyes are blacked out. It's not going to hold. So I'll just sit like this because that's completely natural. Completely natural. No one would
Completely.
suspect a thing.
I
Apart
often
from-
do this as I'm sitting comfortably.
Think of a number. I will read your mind.
B.
Shazam, man. So the eyes are blacked out. But they have like a spike that kind of comes down and around the mouth and then back up. So it's a bit kind of more menacing looking. They're in like a racer cut top and some shorts, which are just kind of generic black with a bit of like purple trim to them. They have, some scarring down their legs. They've clearly had some kind of surgery in the past. There is scarring across the shoulders, like surgical scarring. And they look like they've seen a fight or two. They're in very good shape. They have violet eyes, very bright, very violet eyes, violently violet eyes, you might say. So violet he would be called Violet if only he was violet and female.
Violet, you're turning violet,
he's-
Violet.
Violet, yes, exactly. That's the kind of violet eyes he has. Violently violet eyes. Moving on. And he just cracks his knuckles together and gets ready. Ding. First round begins.
Ding, ding, ding.
Michael, what are you going to do? Well, not Michael. Rock, what are you going to do? Must I Vulcan my face?
I think the first thing I want to do is size this guy up because he's a mystery man. So I want to is this some sort of joke? Is somebody playing on me? Like, is this guy actually does he read as a fighter, or is this just some schmuck who's like being a weird guy?
Give me an insight security.
Cold reading?
Is cold reading more to do with using your betazoid powers?
not so much. Opposite even.
Okay, cool. Yeah, cold reading.
Yeah. Task, focus. Roll the. See there. 1.
Bear with. So 1 success. You look at this guy, and you're trying to take it all in, and it seems like quite a lot. I now need to try and unlock my iPad, which doesn't recognize me anymore.
Okay. And I guess, and
I feel that pain.
yeah.
There
What
we
is
okay.
what is his emotional state? Also, just as passive.
Well, bear with, because whilst you're sizing him up, he notes the fractional hesitation and he comes straight in to hit you.
All right.
And because your roll has been spent looking at him, you miss that he's coming straight at you. So he's going to connect. 4, 5, 6. He does a number of dice. So, whilst you're assessing him, taking him in, and as you then go to start to press into his mind to pick up his emotional state or to get that read from him, I'm taking this off because it's starting to annoy me.
The visual has been achieved.
Yeah, thank you. He very quickly spots that infinitesimal second of an opening and he lunges, and you find a palm, an elbow, a second palm, another elbow, a knee. Just you take this flurry of very quick blows and you take 8 points of damage straight away.
Whoa.
That, when you take 5 points of damage, that is instantly taking an injury, which in a normal scene takes you out of action for that scene. Now, you can use your point of determination to avoid that injury if you want to keep fighting, rather than just go straight down.
Yeah, I will do that.
Yeah. So, I'll uncheck your point of determination from your sheet. You will get it back at the start of, the next scene. Don't worry, I'm not that evil.
I do believe I'm going to win this bet.
And then
You
he
may
just
be
kind of
correct.
pivots away and strikes a different stance, and he's ready for your next move.
All right, and after that, I think the Klingon takes over a little bit. He just pissed, and I'm going in hard.
Okay, this becomes a daring security, and it becomes a contested one. So it's technically it's difficulty 1. It's whoever makes the most momentum succeeds, or threat from my
I'm
standpoint.
gonna get nuts.
Okie dokie.
It's 1, and then 2,
And then 3.
So I'm gonna give you 6 threat for 3 extra dice.
Well, you already have a momentum stored.
Yeah, but I specifically want to give you
So-
threat. I have to threat to make my talent ping. So
You can mix and match though, so you can spend that 1 momentum and then 5 threat.
nope, it's 6 threat.
Oh, okay, just 6 threat. Okay,
Okay. It's fine.
Doomed.
This is
that's
fine.
fine.
This is fine.
I mean, I will spend 6 threat.
All right, daring security. Did I click science? I did insight science on that. Whoops. Whatever. It didn't matter anyway, and it wouldn't have crit. All right, let's make that the right button. All right, form task.
That's what we're going for.
Using focus. 5 dice.
Let's see what you get before I roll.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
6 for me.
Seven.
God damn it.
Oh.
For another 4 points of damage.
All right. Still up.
You are,
Very
Yeah.
punch drunk. But
as you've taken your second set of 5 points of damage, you take another injury. But for the sake of this scene, I'll let you survive. Not survive, that's the wrong word. Let you continue to be up at cost. And that cost will be that because you have taken so much damage so quickly, is that you're fighting in your last reserves. So you can't buy more dice. You're on 2 dice straight rolls.
oh no, that sucks. All right.
Okay. You being Klingon, having fought a lot, you know that you have taken a lot of powerful blows to very critical points in your physiology, and you're just trying to stay conscious at this point. It's not that you've lost loads of blood or that you've got organs flying out or anything stupid like that. It's just this person knows exactly where to hit you hard. Okay?
Yeah. Yep. Ugh. All right.
Round 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna make him knock me out. So
3, gonna knock him out. 3, gonna knock him out.
If that had been a 20, that would have been hysterical.
yeah, 3 that time.
Cool.
Jonathan.
I'm doing really well. He's just that much better than me.
Jonathan
Alright,
looks
right.
over to 4 of 8, and just on the plus side, it does look like Rock may not need a drink.
I mean, he might need a drink more, though.
Possibly,
As fighters, we drink more when we're down.
I'm thinking possibly a medic.
That's also possible.
Actually, just need. Ooh, hello. No, it's too many. 5. There we go. Forgot to adjust those. So also 3 successes this side. So you don't know if he's easing up on you, but you're matching blow for blow now.
All right.
Elbows are coming in, kicks are coming up, but they're being blocked. They're being blocked. He's still in control of the fight.
Yeah.
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 But what's your next move?
I mean, we're gonna sweep the leg. By what you mean, I'm gonna hit him again. But yeah, somewhere in there is a sweep of the leg.
So if you wanted to do it, so the way it works is, and this is true also for things like grappling, is that you make that first attack check. And if the attack succeeds, then you can say, yep, so the effect is that I want this to have happened.
Yeah, if I get effects.
So,
yeah.
So as long as your attack connects. But if you
Yeah.
say it again, if you say it before we start it, then we know what we're going into it, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So
Yeah. Man.
I
I mean you're rolling really well.
Yeah.
You are not rolling well enough.
That's the problem.
Yeah. I'm fairly certain that this is it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I have 1 point left. Yeah.
And I'm about to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm about to do another 10 points of damage. So, you know when I said don't? No, I'm not going to say that. So, you go for the sweep, and this person knows that that's what you're going to do. He drops as your leg's coming round, and he grabs your leg as you're going to take him. He rolls with it, flips you onto your front, and then pins you, putting so much stress into your leg that you just unconscious. He wraps his arm around your throat, you pass out. You're counted unconscious, he lets go.
I do believe that means you owe me a drink, friend.
I'll take that. Though I mean, he didn't give up. I'm not going to argue. I owe you a drink. But he didn't give up.
Tonic water, please. Because 4 does not drink alcohol.
The masked fighter releases you as soon as you're called out and assists the swept in medical crew, because whilst it's an underground fight club, they still look after everybody. You're brought back to consciousness. There's going to be bruising. They're not going to take care of that because, you know, they've got other stuff to do and there are other fights to have.
Yeah.
But your opponent helps you back up to your feet and over to who he assumes are your weirdly happy looking friends.
Ow. Well fought.
You fought with bravery and honor.
Almost had you there for a second.
For a second.
What's his vibe now that we're not fighting? I wanna, what's his read?
Have we seen our captain before?
You have seen his. You've definitely seen his Starfleet record picture. You know, his
Does
his profile
that look
picture.
like who we're staring at?
I don't know. Make me an insight something.
Something. Yes.
An insight something roll. What would it be?
Can we all make this roll?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Or it could be
Commander security?
feel free to pitch stuff to me about how you think it would
I
fit.
think command makes
Reason?
the best.
Reason could fit. I'm still looking
Those
at.
are the same for me,
Read.
so
Fair enough. I was trying to give you an edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Command.
Command and insight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then do we click perform challenge or task?
Task.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically not science, not, well, it could be medicine, not con, not engineering. I can tell you what it's
Did I
not.
add my survival focus to it?
No. You're not in imminent danger.
I'm like surviving going forward. All
May I
right.
add investigation as I'm investigating his face?
Yeah.
I'm investigating his face.
Ooh.
Oh, nice crit.
Oh no.
There was a
That
complication.
was a complication.
I love this system.
And the thing is, I really know what I'm going to do with that. Matt, are you rolling as well?
Yep. You just rolled in.
Okay.
Scared to see what it is.
Matt, you're not sure. 4 of 8. You are pretty certain from your, we'll say, enhanced optical arrangement, part biological, part technological eyesight, you're fairly certain that there are characteristics around what of the eye and the chin and the forehead that you can see that marries this up, and the ears, because they're fair game. This marries up with the pictures that you've seen of the captain. You're fairly certain that's who this is, but clearly he doesn't want to obviously be seen as the captain.
Gotcha.
Jonathan, it could be anybody. You're just slightly, this guy's, either you're intimidated by him or you think he's kind of cool, whatever, but you're not picking up a captain vibe, because what captain would behave like that? That's not in any of the Starfleet manuals. No captain would behave that way. Rock, as you're trying to take this person in and get a bit of a read on them, from maybe having your brain rattled about your skull a bit too hard, you're maybe not feeling your control is where it should be, and you read a bit too closely, and you feel a pushback that isn't so much of a mental pushback or a block, but there is physical pain associated with this person shutting down an attempt to get a read on them.
Ow.
A bit like sudden, quite intense brain freeze down like one side of your head. You don't take any damage from it or anything like that, but you just, ouchies. Anyway, sorry.
I was going to say, when Rock says, that he almost had him, Jonathan sort of looks over at 4 of 8 and is just, was he fighting the fight that we was watching?
I did tell you that when we sparred, he was not as good as he thought he was.
I thought he was. I mean, I can't.
And kind of tries to do an inconspicuous wink towards who she now knows is probably their captain.
I heard that for.
I did not mean to hide it. I was making a joke. Ha ha.
Rock, how many fingers am I holding up?
70. 2.
That sounds about
Fine.
right.
By this point, you realize that the masked fighter, as I'm calling him now, has gone.
Well, that could have gone better.
And that's exactly where we're going to cut to upstairs, because I'm very aware that Sabina's been sat in Guinans on her own for a while. Well, not on her own, but with her friends. And I didn't want to force her downstairs into a fight club, but So, Sabina, hello. Sorry.
It's okay.
How are you getting on?
I am enjoying Sharon.
Sharon, okay. Who is currently halfway through If I Could Turn Back Now. If I could find a way. She studied the McFarlane method, clearly. So she's got a couple of backing dancers up there. with very unenthusiastic Romulan paces. Right, step dig. Yeah. So where are you sat? How's the chat going?
I don't know if they're probably really giddily talking about the show, and inside Selea's amused, but she's not showing it as the Vulcan way, because she's like, this is not what I expected. You said music. I was expecting classical. This is not classical. This is, what is this? This is okay. It's actually kind of catchy. This is actually kind of good.
This is annoyingly catchy.
I'll
This
save
is
this for
going
later.
to memo to self. Google
And
Chiron.
and then probably at some point in time, she'll leave her friends to get up and get a beverage and go over to the bar and get a drink,
Mhm.
to refresh and go, oh my god.
A drink in a glass slides itself towards you. As you look up in a wonderful gown is too grand, but in a definite frock is a black woman with a fantastic hat and a face that speaks of just almost infinite wisdom and experience, but also warmth and welcoming. And she just looks at you with a smile that seems like she knows you inside out, even though she's never spoken to you before. And she goes, first time encountering the classics?
Yes.
And
To tell the truth, it is enjoyable.
well, that's progress. I don't think I've ever had a Vulcan in here for the first time proclaim music to be enjoyable.
Vulcan culture also enjoys music, and though we usually prefer much different kinds.
More structure, yes?
Yes.
Well, even in the unstructured chaos of the popular music of Earth in the 20th and 21st century, there's still a lot of regular structure within it. If you ever choose to look up the catalogue of music by the producers Stock Aitken and Waterman, you'll find recurring themes that might also catch your ear.
I shall take note.
Is there a note of apprehension in your voice? Any changes on the horizon?
I am moving on with my career.
Moving on in that I've had enough, it's time for a change, or moving on as in progress, positivity?
Progress and positivity.
Then congratulations, and here's to you.
Thank you.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
And Guinan saunters away to go and serve another client.
For the slightest second, there's a look of confusion in her eyes, and then it's gone. And she returns to her friends with the drink that the lady gave her.
Cool. Right. The camera pans back up and out of the club as Sharon is finishing the evening with "Do you believe in love after law?" To, I would say rapturous applause, but speech timelines and stuff. The camera pans away, fades out. The next morning begins. It is stardate, which is the stardate that you are all due aboard the Indala to report for duty. So, here we go. Let's start with who's going to be beaming over. Hey, if we use beaming, we don't have to do the whole teleport transport thing. Hey! Problem solved. Well done, brain. Cool. So, beamers, teleporters, 4 of 8, Rock and Slayer will say, by the art of serendipity, the 3 of you arrive at the same time. You're in the same batch for embarkation. Over to you. You arrived outside your designated teleportation hub.
Oh, that's a fantastic array of bruises, Rock. Are you still sore from last night?
Yes. Thanks for checking.
Are you quite all right?
I'm fine. Got my ass handed to me. Not the first time.
Very, very badly by who I think was... Oop.
Did you recognize them for?
Maybe...
Fully. Both. I want to know. This feels like a die roll.
I will do a challenge roll against you to try to get this.
Very much. And Rock's immediately like both the empathy and the non-empathy. He's like, listen here.
Now, listen here, Missy.
I
I
think
need to
that
know
would be
you.
control and command for trying to hide it.
Okay, so for trying to keep a secret, insight, so it covers self-awareness and being conscious of state of mind.
All right. Insight and command still pretty much works well for this.
Yeah, insight command or insight security.
And probably the same for me.
Yeah.
Cold reading. I feel like applies.
Yep.
I really don't think I have anything that'll help me with this, but we're gonna roll.
Yeah.
Oh, that was almost a 20.
Brain explodes, you die. 5s and 15s, that's all you roll.
We each got 1 success.
God damn it.
As you try to interrogate out of 4 who they believe the masked fighter was, the queue of people boarding the beaming pad continues to progress forwards.
Okay, I could have done a bonus d20 though, now that I look at it with Dauntless, and I'm sad because that would have given, whenever you attempt a task to resist being intimidated or threatened, get a bonus.
Roll it.
Roll it? Okay.
Yeah, if you hit reroll results, you should be able to just select 1 die, I think. Because there's a reroll results button. It's
Haha.
amazing. All right, reroll them all.
Still 1 success.
Amazing. Yeah, so the conversation continues back and forth. 4, you're not giving anything. Rock, you're trying, but still not getting anything from her. Salaya, what's your way in on the situation?
So you got into a fight and you think 4 of 8 knows who it is.
I don't know, 4. You tell me. Looks like you might.
I have no idea what you're referring to.
We're not done with this. You step onto the pad.
As soon as he beams off, 4 cannot keep it in anymore and leans into Saleya. We were at Guinan's Underground Fight Club last night, and he got his ass kicked by our new captain. And then walks over to the beaming pad and goes.
Slayer's eyes just widen and goes, fascinating, steps onto the pad. Beams.
The 3 of you materialize aboard the Endala. Waiting for you is the yeoman, who has seemingly an endless supply of pads. And as you step aboard, it recognizes your comm badge as you're being beamed aboard, and you are handed a pad upon which is your name, your rank, your designation, where your corridor is, where your bunk is, and also your commanding officer to report to, so that you can report for duty and any initial assignments for the day. So 4 of 8. Yours is Lieutenant Commander Tok. I think that's right. Is that what I decided? Did I write this down?
That sounds right.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lieutenant Commander Tok for you. Hang on. What did I say your post? What did we say your posting was?
I'm security.
This will help. Security. So let's see. Who's in the security office? Nobody. Yeah, so Lieutenant Commander Tok. You're going to Lieutenant Commander Tok. I'll say it again, Lieutenant Commander Tok. You're reporting to her for duty. As tactical, you will be reporting to Lieutenant Commander Tok. Saleya, you will be reporting to the medical bay, and you will be reporting to Dr. Anesthesia. We'll come to that in a moment. So you're aboard the ship. It has that wonderful. I'll just describe. Oh, we have a transporter room. I can put you on the transporter room. Yay! Activate. I'll stick tokens on there. Don't worry, people at home. You're not really missing out on much. But yeah, here you are in the teleport room. Oh no! If I put you on, if I put you on the teleporter pad, you disappear. We don't actually have tokens; we just have white symbols, and the teleporter pad is white. So they just—it's magic. It's technology in action. So you materialize into one of the smaller teleporter rooms because they're all cycling through people at the moment. The cargo transporters are bringing a cargo aboard, and the ship has that new ship smell. All of the bulkheads are sparklingly clean. The carpets are crisp and fresh and plush. The lines between like the teal blue and the magnolia beige carpets are really crisp and clean. The doors make a really nice shka as they open, and they make a really nice shka as they close. I didn't practice that, and I think it went rather well. Well done, me. So yes, you step down off the transporter pad, you make your way to the set of doors that go shka, and you head off in your separate directions. Meanwhile, Jonathan. Meanwhile, back on planet Earth. Jonathan, you make your way to Shuttle Bay Gamma Charlie. This is actually the Shuttle Bay on the ship, but we'll just pretend it's Shuttle Bay Gamma Charlie 7 on Earth. Over to you.
First of all, I just want to add that I didn't realize I was going to be the only person flying up.
I mean, why would we fly?
Thanks, guys.
Transporting is faster.
In fairness, just to fill in the background, The Indala has, if you've not seen Session Zero, the Indala does have 4 shuttles, but there will be a number of other shuttles and runabouts and small craft servicing links between Earth, the ship, Starbase One. So the crew that prefer or that have larger items to carry with them, the Ansons generally are not those people because they're only allowed one small container of stuff to fit in a little cupboard. But the option is open to all of the crew, whether they wish to shuttle up or beam up. It just so happens that Jonathan is the only one that chose to shuttle up, so that's kind of fun. Jonathan, as you round the corner into the shuttle bay, you have your pad updates with the shuttle name of the shuttle. How many times can I say shuttle in this sentence? Of the shuttle, the USS Nerys. And as you walk into the shuttle bay, you see the Nerys, and you hear voices coming from inside.
Jonathan walks up to the Nerys and sort of leans his head just through the doorway to see who's in there, see if there's anything going on that he maybe shouldn't be involved in before stepping fully through.
There are 2 very friendly, casual voices talking and joking backwards and forwards. One male, one female. One you might know from the night before, but you soon recognize is coming from your captain, Captain Tren. He is chatting quite casually and openly to one Colonel Kieran Nerys. Both being Bajoran. Well, for Tren, he's half Bajoran, half Betazoid. They are talking happily about time, shenanigans, days gone past, mishaps, hoo-has, and to-dos. Mostly, he is introducing Kira as the namesake of the shuttle to the shuttle that has been named partly in her honor and also because the Indala is a symbol of Bajor. As you stick your head around the corner, she spots you and goes, it looks like our time might be at an end, Bral. And he goes, yes. The imitable call of duty. And he stands up. Kira stands up as well, and they make their way to the rear of the shuttle, which is where the boarding hatch is.
Sorry, Captain. I can come back. Sure there's people to see, things to do. Things to clean.
He taps a pad and goes, no, you're quite on time. It's time to get aboard the ship. And he turns to Kira and says, Nerys, it's been lovely, but too short. If ever we're near DS9 or the wormhole, we'll pop in. But make sure that Quarks is better stocked this time. If we drink them dry a second time, then you'll end up with a reputation that, quite frankly, you can't afford. She chuckles, pulls him in for a hug, and says something to him in Bajoran. Then says, may the prophets guide you safely, wherever it is you may roam, but may you always find your way back home. And as she turns, she looks at you, Jonathan, and she says, never play Domjant with this cheeky scallywag. And she walks away.
I'd keep that in mind.
Welcome aboard, Ensign Richards. In you come. Make yourself at home, put your case down, and take the helm.
Aye, aye, Captain. And he steps in, slides his small case away, and very enthusiastically takes a seat at the helm.
Cool. The captain sits in the tactical suit, in the seat next to the one at helm, goes, very well. Take us out. You now get to roll some dice.
This is going to go really badly now, isn't it?
Get ready with the
This
beat
is
button.
literally
Don't
his
fuck
job
it up.
on the
Yeah.
ship.
Kill the
I think-
captain.
Yeah,
Game over.
we've changed scenes like 8 times, so our momentum's gone.
Yeah, sorry, I should have said. You've got your point of determination back. It's a new day. You've healed up. You are bruised.
Yeah.
So, ego more than anything. Cool. Right. So, this will be a control con roll, please.
Dun, 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 dun. I've got flight control systems as a focus.
Yep, that counts.
Yeah. I'm just having a look. Let's go.
Nice.
Haha. That is 4 successes.
Back up to 2 momentum. So the shuttlecraft very gently, very deftly lifts off the shuttle bay floor and drifts slowly through the force field and out into the atmosphere. And we head off. We leave Earth's atmosphere up to Starbase 1. We effortlessly glide through space. And as we enter, well, as we're on the journey, Captain Tren is idly pressing buttons, scanning for life forms or stuff. So, Ensign Richards, what excites you most about coming aboard the Indala?
Well, Captain, if I'm honest, it's going to be interesting to see where exactly she goes. What things we get to see.
Have you read the mission brief for our maiden voyage?
I have indeed.
Okay, what's your potential threat rating of this first mission?
It should be fairly low, as long as we have no issues actually reaching the planet from the ship.
Okay. Any regulations that we might need to be aware of when arriving at said planet?
Ooh. Can I make a roll to try and determine whether or not there's anything he may know, especially with his lovely value?
I will say insight and command or security.
We'll go with security just because it is a little bit higher.
Okay.
And his Federation legal code?
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
I'm getting all my good rolls in today. Right this second.
Before they
If we
matter.
get into any sort of tussle, I'm going to hide behind 4 of 8 and rock. Just throwing it out there, guys.
I mean, I do
One
have
on each
wings
arm.
you can hide behind.
Yeah, I'm hiding behind the wings.
Come to mama. Yeah, so the conversation continues around prospective rules to be aware of. You would probably say things like, because they are a technologically advanced culture, but they choose to live in a less advanced manner than, say, like the people of Earth do, that you need to be sensitive to the fact that they aren't backwards. You know, they're not a developing culture. They are developed. They've just their society has gone in a different direction with its use of technology. That they're belief that their harvest is everything, that whilst that might seem simplistic to Starfleet and the United Federations of Planets with its outward-looking view, actually their harvest is everything because it supports a number of planets in their solar system. So even though they are hyper-focused on something that seems relatively mundane, it's actually something that is of interplanetary value and note and criticality. So it's a small thing that actually would have a very big ripple effect if something was to go wrong with it, as there is going wrong with it. So you are aware of the cultural, you talk about the cultural sensitivities that anybody on planet will need to be aware of and navigate without upsetting a friend of the Federation. As you're having that conversation, you arrive through the force field at Starbase 1, and you absolutely have a delightful series of establishing shots as the shuttle takes a very weird route around the top of the saucer section and under the saucer section and around the nacelles and around the pod and under main engineering and past the deflector dish and past the crew quarters where people are walking behind and going, why is that shuttle taking such a strange route? The captain's waving at people as he goes past, not that they can see him, but he's still waving anyway. And yeah, then I would like you to make me another control con roll to land the shuttle in the shuttle bay aboard the Indala.
Okay.
Don't mess up now.
Thanks for that confidence.
You crash into the side of the ship, the warp core goes critical, everybody dies. Starbase 1 is destroyed. It was almost a complication as well, but that is 0 successes. So as you're coming in, the captain, whilst silent, is monitoring the situation quite closely. And he notices that you're not firing the thrusters quite as hotly as you imagine that you are. And the velocity at which you're approaching the ship, whilst exciting, is not optimal.
And not to regulation.
Yeah, certainly not up to code. Certainly not what he would have expected of you. And, you know, in the captain's head, he would have expected that maybe an ensign, particularly a ensign that sits at the con, might be using it as a moment to go, look what I can do, from handbrake turn, in, boom. Yeah, aren't I cool? But he realizes a few seconds into this that actually no, your mind is not on the job. And he presses a couple of buttons and your controls lock and switch. And he takes control of the shuttle and brings it in, lands it, and then unlocks the controls and just stands up. He goes, thank you, Ensign, with me, and just turns and walks out of the back of the shuttle, expecting you to follow.
Jonathan gets up, smooths his uniform, takes a second, and follows quite quickly.
They move through the corridors of the ship. Again, that same new ship smell. In the shuttle bay, all of the paint is fresh and neat and clean. There are no skid marks. All of the containers are very neatly stacked. Everything's nicely sealed. As the captain walks through the corridors, people step to one side, or they nod, or they salute. It's super respectful at the moment because everything is quite so new. Steps into a turbo lift. He waits for Ensign Richards to join, and then he just commands bridge. And the pair of them, well, certainly from Captain Trent's side, travels in silence. How's Ensign Richards feeling at the moment?
When the captain says bridge, there is an audible gulp from the ensign. This is not how he saw his first trip to the bridge going, because he's fairly certain he's about to get he talking to? Addressing down. Maybe not the pat on the back he was hoping to get from the captain when they first had reason to interact on a one-to-one level. He's quite nervous and probably projecting that, but doesn't say anything.
The captain turns around to face him with a black mask on his face, and he punches him in. No, learn to fly! Bang! Judo chop! No. The doors open, and I will just change the map.
It's so pretty.
It's so
Very
pretty. We'll share this with people on stream at some point, maybe. And a rather unoccupied at the moment bridge there is actually somebody sat here at the moment. You can't quite see them yet, but I'll reveal that in a second. So Captain Tren steps out onto the bridge and just takes a second to take it all in. It, to all intents and purposes, for the sake of brevity and because I couldn't be bothered to design a new bridge, it has a very similar layout to the Enterprise D bridge, because why mess with the classic, frankly? As Captain Tren steps out onto the bridge, he notices a pair of legs sticking out from the captain's chair. And he walks down the left-hand ramp to discover somebody is indeed sat in his chair. Tren stops, stands up straight, and salutes. Standing up out of the chair, a lady's voice goes, "Captain Tren, it's good to see you again." He salutes and says, "Admiral Janeway, it's been a while. If you've peeled the protective film off my command console, I will actually stab you." She laughs and steps forward to give him a hug. Admiral Janeway, may I introduce one of our new ensigns, Ensign Jonathan Richards.
At this point, the nervousness is less like radiating and more exploding off of him, because this is like his idol standing in front of him at this point, and he's got his bag still. He's still waiting to be told off for almost crashing and killing the two of them. And he just starts babbling. He's just like, Admiral Janeway, yeah, Jonathan Richards, big fan. What you did with the Voyager, just amazing.
Admiral Janeway leans over to Captain Tren and goes, "Were we always this jittery?" And Tren goes, "I think I was worse." She chuckles and holds up both hands and just goes, "Ensign, calm yourself, take a breath. Everybody is only human or Bajoran or Betazoid or, everybody's only who they are. You're part of something great here. Look after this ship, and she will look after you too. If you'll excuse me, I need to commandeer your captain for just a few minutes." The captain looks to Ensign Richards and just goes, "Would you excuse me for 2 minutes?" And the captain and the admiral go into the ready room. And a few minutes pass. Yep.
He totally wants to sit on the chair. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Do it.
He's going to take a look around and see if anybody's watching him.
Oh, no.
Do you want me to roll some dice?
You could roll.
Daring.
Yeah, it's either
Feels pretty
daring
daring.
or insight.
It feels
Yeah,
pretty
daring. Yeah, daring.
It feels pretty daring. I'm not gonna lie.
Command. Yeah,
Yeah.
daring command.
His infiltration focus?
No,
No. Okay, it was worth a shot.
no.
There's
So I'm laughing because if you hit a complication, my brain has just suggested what the complication is.
I've got momentum. Can I use momentum to purchase dice? Was
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that yeah?
you can use one momentum to buy your first dice. You can use another 2 to buy a second additional dice.
Can I use 1 point of momentum to buy 1 dice?
Mm-hmm.
And guys, like, really pray right here.
That should actually have gone down one between scenes. Oof. Okay.
I've got 2 successes.
Yep. So no one's paying you any attention. There's only a couple of people on the bridge at the moment because you are in dock in Starbase 1. So there's not a great deal happening. There's somebody at the helm. So they are currently calibrating or getting things set up. There's somebody over at one of the science stations probably running diagnostics.
He takes a seat.
As he starts to creep his way down, he lines himself up in front of the chair and starts to go to sit. And at that point, a voice goes, "Ensign Richards to my ready room."
Aye, Captain.
As you walk round the corner and in through the door, you step into the captain's ready room, which is, again, everything is pristine, everything is exactly where it should be, everything is clean. There's still some of the protective films on some of the pads and pictures and what have you. There's a little sofa. There's his curving desk. He's currently stood behind the desk looking at one of the pads, one of the computers on the wall. Admiral Janeway has already gone. You don't know if she went through a different exit or if she beamed away, but she has left. He has the usual shelf of trinkets. I'm trying to think what was on there. There is a strange kind of obelisk shape item of indeterminate origin. There's a onyx black rectangular case. There is a rather large, bulky, metallic looking like backpack with a flexible pipe that goes into what looks like a sort of gun. There is just a couple of other like random artifacts. Make me a insight and yeah, insight command. Check.
Okay. Yes.
Cool. You also notice, kind of further back on one of the shelves, a head, not a human head, like a mannequin head, with a black mask on it that comes down into like 2 points. That is vaguely reminiscent of somebody who you saw fighting last night. The Captain, without turning round, goes, I see you've been reading ahead of your posting.
Sir?
He turns and slides a pad across the desk towards you. As you look at it, you can see listed a number of file names and access times and your Starfleet ID.
I just wanted to make sure that I was as well informed as I could be for the mission at hand.
Okay. Any questions?
No?
Really?
Danger, Will Robinson.
Yeah. So in that exchange, Tren has asked you, so any questions? And you said, no. Knowing that that is the polite reaction, that's why he's just gone, really? It's not really as in he's asking a follow-up question to then allow you further. It's very much a rhetorical, really. He knows that you have questions and that you've been bold enough to dig in to his past, but then not so bold as to go any further. And then that's for you to work out whether he thinks that it's because of respect or fear or the fact that you nearly crashed a shuttle into his nice new ship or anything like that. Anyway, so he ends with, really? And then leaves it for a beat and goes, well, as it happens, I have a mission for you. He says, as he taps some buttons on a pad to transmit, hopefully only to you, the details of a mission that is explicitly for you. And as he continues, to talk through that mission brief with you, we shift over to the medical bay, sick bay, you might call it, or well bay, if you're trying to be more positive about it, where Saleya, whose character is there, that's not Saleya, that is Saleya, who arrives at this door down here. Unpause. There we go. So if you wanted to move, you can move, but it's as broad as it is long. So you step through the door into one of the medical bay. The medical bay layout is bonkers. There's just corridors and then vestibules
really
and then It's just like doors on doors on doors. If anybody's on a stretcher, they don't stand a chance. Trying to. And if the doctor needs to get away quickly, she's got like 3 doors to go through in all directions. Anywho, we digress. Over to you, Saleya. Go and report for duty.
I shall go through this door,
There are 17
and then
doors.
I will
Which
go
one do you
through
choose?
this door, and I will pause in front of her office door to say that I'm there, because it is only polite. And then I will enter. To kind of like do the whole wee woo thing.
Wee woo?
I don't know. The whole
Okay.
like when you know, like ring the doorbell. I don't know.
Yeah. Clatter through. Shaka. So as you arrive, so you step into the chief medical officer's office, and behind the desk is a human woman of probably early to middle age. She has fairly short, kind of sandy blonde hair. She's got a serious demeanor, almost surly demeanor about her. She's a doctor and she cares, but just don't rub her up the wrong way is the general feeling. And she looks up and she goes, yes?
Ensign Celea, reporting for duty.
Aha, yes. The Vulcan one, yes?
Correct.
Yes, well, I would say welcome aboard, but welcome seems like a frivolous expenditure of emotional positivity. So, hello.
Greetings.
I have a question. Do you know if it's possible to reprogram an EMH to do all of my paperwork for me?
I don't believe that is possible.
Damn it. Well, there goes that project. She throws a pad across the room. It clatters into a bin that's in the corner with a number of other pads, half in the bin and half around the floor. She is completely aware that people don't need bins with pads. It's just for dramatic effect. She goes, so then, as she pulls another pad out of a drawer. Leia, so interests. Borg implants and technology, removal thereof, and liberation. Yes?
Correct.
Cool. Who did you study under at the academy? She's thumbing through notes.
I give a name.
You know, if ever I ask a question like that, make anything up. It's fine.
Um,
I would just, because I'll forget it. So,
I could not think of a name.
Dr. Bigglesworth. Ah, yes, Dr. Bigglesworth. Vacation. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Ah,
Indeed.
fond of his work on kibble. Okay, fantastic. Right. Well, before we set off, I'm going to need your help setting up the last couple of what they call sick beds, hollow beds, med beds. There's a word, and it's escaping my brain. Onto the. Anyway, the medical beds. I'm just going to need your help to load some of the profiles for the crew. As I hope you're aware, we have Aurelians, we have liberated Borg, we've got Klingons, Bajorans, Belurians, all sorts of bees. And we just need to make sure we've got all of the profiles before we push away. Otherwise, trying to download those things through subspace can just be a chore. So if you wouldn't mind assisting me, and she moves through to where they've got some of the medical beds, and the pair of you start working on those. So if you would like to make a insight, science, or engineering, or medicine, I'll
Insight.
allow any of those.
Insight medicine.
Yep. And
1 minute. Insight medicine. I don't know if I have a focus for this. We'll just roll some dice. I got
That'll
2
do it.
successes.
Fantastic. So between you and the doctor, you continue to work on getting the sick bay, the med bay, and the various bits of equipment set up. You both, she was assisting you, technically. It's kind of her way of seeing how you work, how you approach things, how you lay things out. And yeah, that's a very good start. She's one eyebrow impressed with your work so far, considering she was just like, right, go, let's get to it. She also does all of the administrative of, yes, reporting for duty, yes, they're here, yes, they're on time, yes, their uniform is appropriately, all of the tick sheets of Starfleet banality that go with reporting for duty. You then end up with oh no, I'll come back to that in a moment. I will leave you in sickbay assisting the doctor in setting up. But you do have an EMH, should you need one, in an E, or an EM, or an ME. Yeah, if you need an ME, if you're in an ME, you've got an EM to H. Other letters are available. Moving quickly.
Select to buy a
Quickly
vowel.
on. I would like to solve the puzzle, please. Please, somebody solve it for me. Okay, well, in the security office, because we're going to do it there, we are going to report for duty. Who are we going to report for duty? Who's left? Brock and 4 of 8. Lovely
Yep.
people. Hello to you too. In fact, I'm going to put you outside the room to begin with. Or I'm just going to leave you embedded in a wall because that's what kids are doing this season. And they will stand
Walling
there.
is the new thing.
Yeah. I can't remember the ship now that had the phasic cloaking device that then the hood, was it the hood? That then half materialized inside an asteroid. It didn't end well. Hashtag spoilers. Moving on. So the pair of you are off to report for duty with Lieutenant Commander Tok.
Four is very obviously not talking to Rock because doesn't want to have more badgering for who he fought.
So we'll say, to assist with that, because for some reason there are 2 turbo lifts that exit right next to each other on this map. By
I'm
all
still
accounts,
seeing the
makes no
medical
sense.
bay, just a heads up.
Oh,
Yeah, same.
okay. Well, you're both currently in turbo lifts. You're in your own individual turbo lifts, and then, as if by magic, you step out of your turbo lift next to each other, having both stepped out of individual turbo lifts that for some reason exit right next to each other.
We're not done. You can run only so far.
I do have wings, so I can fly, and just walks forward to knock on the door.
The door's open. I don't know why I throw my head back like it's some kind of horror movie.
Lieutenant Commander Tuck, reporting for duty, 4 of 8.
It would seem that they are the right words, but not necessarily in the order that I was expecting.
Oh, yeah. Ensign Samara also reporting.
Are you reporting for duty, Ensign?
Yes.
With how to phrase this in an unoffensive way. Is that your natural colouring? She says, referring to the various greens, purples, yellows, and blues.
No, sir.
Okay. Klingon culture aside, you bring dishonor on your uniform and your ship when you attend for duty in such a state. What on earth were you up to on Earth last night?
I was enjoying my last night before reporting for duty, sir.
She takes a breath in slowly. She raises an eyebrow and says, "It would serve you well to remember, as your career continues within Starfleet, that for as much hijinks, shenanigans, and enjoyment as you bring to your life and your career, you should ensure that you have adequate time to clean up before the next duty shift continues.
Noted.
Report to the medical bay. The doctor will lambast you vigorously, and then she'll see to your bruises. Whilst I appreciate that you're wearing them as a badge of honor, presumably the other party came off much worse. However, on a
Just looks
Starfleet
poor.
vessel, on a Starfleet vessel, bruising is not generally a great look. She taps a pad and then goes, "And if you go now, I don't think the captain will be able to see you because currently he's in the bridge, so you might just get away with it."
There is very obviously a smirk on 4 of 8's face at that.
I'm gonna fight you.
You can't see it, only Lieutenant Commander can.
And Tok just goes,
After
Sorry,
sick
go
bay, sir.
and after sick bay, well, by the time you've done in sick bay, I'm sure the captain will have announced orders to the ship. So for the time being, Ensign Samara, welcome to the Indala. You are dismissed.
Thank you, sir. We'll go
4
to
of
6.
8.
Yes.
Sir,
Was that attitude?
I'm sorry, sir. No, it was.
No, sorry, that was at Michael. Was that attitude
sorry.
in character, or was that just you being sassy at the table?
I was mostly above table, but there's probably a little bit of like, as you turn around back in the turbulence.
Sorry, I was laughing so hard I've actually just paused the game by accident.
I'm fine. But whatever.
You're not my mom. Cool. Okay, you're dismissed. Sod off. Would you be Ensign 8 or Ensign of 8 or Ensign 4 above table?
Probably Ensign 8.
Ensign 8. Okay, yeah, cool. Ensign Berg.
Ensign Berg.
Okay. Ensign Berg. Right. Did I have a thing to send you? Bear with me 1 second. I can't remember who I've written things for. Cool, not as yet, so I don't need to worry about pressing buttons. Lieutenant Commander Tok. So it would appear that you and Ensign Samara have some kind of history.
It's not a long history, but there's interesting complications.
It is a very interesting complexion. I think that's from the bruising from.
Interesting complications referring to his complexion.
The lieutenant commander thinks wistfully for a while and then says, "This fight last night, was it organized or was it just a rumpus?"
Somewhere in between? Honestly, it was a bit of a fight club in the basement at Guinan's, but his opponent...
We don't talk about fight.
She holds up her hand.
I'm too honest for my own good.
As if to say, I've heard enough. She just holds up her hand, and that's where the scene jumps back to sick bay. So we are in sick bay, and the doctor, impressed with Saleya. They are chatting through their favorite injuries that they've seen in the last, 6 to 8 weeks. As a disgruntled teenage Klingon steps through the door.
Rock.
Saleya? Looking for the doctor?
And I step aside and I wave to Dr. Thesha.
The doctor looks up and goes, "Well, no arms are hanging off, so how may I help you today?"
Lieutenant Commander Tuck told me to report to you for... I don't know.
Aha.
It seems unnecessary,
Bruising.
for being frank.
Yeah. Did she cite a number of regulations at you, or just send you here with a disapproving eyebrow?
Just sit me here. Yeah, very much the
Okay.
second one.
The disapproving eyebrow. Be warned, Ensign. That eyebrow can inflict more damage than a Romulan disruptor pistol. Anyway, I don't have time to deal with bruises, so Saleya, take this young man into the room next door and debruise him liberally with impunity.
Yes, Doctor.
If I hear screaming, I'll know to report it in your notes.
I will escort Rock over to the other room and get him on a bio bed.
What's the emotional state of the doctor?
Would you like to roll for that?
I would. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Definitely insight. Command. Yeah, command or. Yeah, command. Insight command.
Yeah. Psychology?
Because he's not threatening you. So, yeah, psychology will work.
Jeez. All right.
Yeah, so to put it briefly, she cranky. Nothing against you personally. She's got nothing against Ensign Saleya personally. She's got nothing against anybody really. She's just grumpy, and she'd rather be dealing with regrowing, a leg or half a torso or some kind of exotic virus or zombies, something, anything, but bruising, really. Guess it must be day 0.
All right. So we walk into the other room. Does the doors close? I think the doctor needs some anger management courses.
What makes you say that?
Being half Betazoid.
I'm really trying to make conversation.
Keep practicing.
I'll take out the tricorder or the EMH and I'll start getting rid of the bruises.
Please make me a control medicine.
Yes, sir. Can I use one of the momentum to?
Of course.
Get it? Nah, I won't. Yeah, I will. I'll
There's
bump it up to
plenty.
3.
There's plenty, yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty. Yeah.
That's what they're there for.
Why not? 2 successes again.
Just as well you didn't have an extended complication range. Yeah, 2 successes, absolutely. Just head turns into a giant bruise. No, the bruises contract, they shrink, they disappear to nothing. That was debruising somebody is a very easy task. Turning up for duty with bruising is most peculiar, most unusual. Cool. So, okay, you've all reported for duty. What do I need to do next? Bam, 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 bam. That's done.
Bam, bam, bam.
Okay. Bam, 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 bam. That's the theme music, something like that. Bam, 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 bam. Show a little more.
Sharon?
Chef Sharon sings the theme tune. That's really hard for me to say. It's his teeth. I'm breaking them in for a friend. You hear the ooh of the shipwide communication notification go off, and you hear the captain go, Alpha Shift, get a shipshape and Bristol fashion. I want us ready to depart in 3 hours. All non-crew, you have 2 hours to disembark or you're going to be working for me. All hands, you have 3 hours until pushback. That is all. So, crew, you are officially part of Beta Shift. That is your official posting. So, Alpha Shift are currently getting everything ready to go. They are most likely going to be the ones who pilot us out as things appear at the moment. So, you have a little bit of free time to do whatever you like. Probably, I would imagine, report to your... You probably will have already been and found your bunks before you reported for duty. That would have made sense for me to have done that before making you report duty. But, you know, what can I say? You put a lunatic in charge, you get lunacy. I'll say, Jonathan, you have finished with your time in the captain's office, and you make your way down to your corridor where your bunk is. Probably about ready to have a sonic shower and get a fresh uniform, having had rather a sweaty start to the day. Make sure there's no bruising.
Yep.
As you are checking your belongings into your little locker, because of the way that the corridors work out, you have bunks that are in the side walls of the corridors, and at the head of each bunk is like a little panel which you press and it slides out. Very IKEA. And in that goes your personal belongings, your personal pad, things like that. And then there's another cabinet, and then there's the next bunk, and they're like too high. And I'll say, Jonathan, whilst you're doing that, that is as Rock and Salea come down the corridor and discover that they are in the bunks directly over the hall from you. Directly over the hall is in the other side of the corridor. And as they are coming down one end of the corridor, coming up from the other end is 4 of 8, who happens to be the bunk beneath you. The 4 of you are sharing a block of bunks all together. Who knew? What are the odds?
Weird.
And just
Who the
like
fuck?
in lower decks, you have a window at the end of the corridor that looks out between the nacelles and underneath the arch of the pod. Over to you guys.
So,
View's not bad.
first impressions of the ship.
It's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
The doctor needs therapy.
Well, she
I
is a
might have outed Fight Club and ducks into.
There's one rule.
Don't talk about Fight Club. Even I know that.
I
rule.
don't think it's going to
The
matter.
Vulcan gets it.
And just stops it. I don't think it's going to matter.
Oh, too late now.
And Salea, how is your posting in the medical department?
The doctor is quite neurotic, but we get along.
Suppose you want somebody focused on your best interests at heart when they're trying to replace a missing appendage.
I believe she is worthy. Well, logically, she is worthy, or else she would not be here. And I fixed up Rock
Yeah,
as
she
well.
would be a
so-
CMO.
Hey, Jonathan, did you get to meet our captain?
I, in fact, did get to meet our captain.
It goes to
Anything
show, right?
familiar about him?
Something very familiar about him. I found he had a rather interesting selection of trophies in his ready room.
Inside?
I was gonna say,
Yeah, do it.
Some sort of firearm.
I'm gonna roll one too.
Is this contested?
Are you trying to lie to him?
I'm not necessarily trying to lie to him.
Just around him.
I'm trying to obfuscate the truth.
So you're lying to him.
Obfuscate the truth.
Okay.
Sounds
Omit
better than
the
lying.
truth.
I'm like, could you make me a performance check? No, because you don't have that sodding stat, do you? Matt, make me a reason
Oof.
command.
This is gonna go
Michael,
horribly
make me
wrong.
an insight security. No, sorry, Michael. Insight command. Not insight security,
Okay.
insight command.
That's fine. Yeah. Yeah. I want to call upon a value. I need this. Empathy is a weapon.
Yep.
I figure one of my focuses will apply. Either cold reading or psychology feels appropriate.
Oh, wait, let me double check something in my head.
Yeah.
So, focuses. When a focus applies, using values, a point of determination, you can spend a point of determination to use a value.
Yep.
The character's value can help in a difficult situation. They provide additional push to succeed as the character's conditions to achieve more. So you can use them to perfect opportunity. A point of determination may be spent to grant the character a single bonus d20. This bonus d20 automatically counts as a
As a
1,
crit.
so it's an auto crit. You can re-roll all of the dice in your dice pool, or you can use it as a sort of activity to do 2 tasks sequentially, or you can make it so basically you give immediately create an advantage that applies to the current scene. So it would mean that you would have no more point of determination for a while.
Yeah. Well, I think they refresh every session normally, I believe.
I think so. We can check it, but
So
if this really matters to Rock, absolutely you can spend it. I'm not going to stop you.
This is important. They are dancing around something, and he's like, "You should fucking tell me."
Yeah.
Can I use my infiltration focus for not necessarily sneaking about, but for the art of talking his way around things?
Cryptography.
Yeah. And can I purchase an extra dice with momentum or not, because this is contested?
Oh, you can. I mean, you all have access to the momentum pool. You're both welcome to spend
See how
momentum
badly
as much
this
as you like.
goes.
Yeah,
And you
newsflash.
said
I'm also
reason and
spending one.
command.
Okay, so
This is
the
gonna
way
go
that
really
it
badly.
works. So if you, Michael, if you bought a dice with a value, that is the 1 cost dice. So the next one costs 2 momentum automatically. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. We've got.
Oh shoot!
Oh no! Oh,
Oh my
Naughty boy.
life!
oh no!
20s were good, right?
Oh my!
Different.
20s were good, right?
If only.
Oh my life!
Yeah.
So
Oh my Lanta!
what we'll do first is, so you have 7 momentum to play with. I don't know why I'm holding up 10 fingers. You have 7 momentum to play with, Michael. So
Yeah.
Jeebus.
you can ask Matt 2 things about the scene that unfurled in the captain's quarters, and you will know absolutely if they're true or not. to start with.
Okay.
So let's do those first.
How do I even phrase this?
Ooh.
Just throw it out there. We'll sort the words out later.
Yeah. Did you see something familiar from the night before in the captain's ready?
Yes.
Was it a mask?
Yes.
Now, you have 7 momentum. Now, when you have an abundance of momentum, you can bank all of them. Well, you've already got 2 momentums in the pool at the moment. So you can bank 4 of those, and then you've still got 3 overflow that you can use immediately to ask further questions. And you will also know whether Matt's telling the truth or not. So it's up to you how much more information you want to quite literally pump him for. But you've got at least 3 questions that you can ask him and still then be on max momentum as a group.
I mean,
Can I just
feel
tell
like I've
you
got
real
the-
things?
Yeah, absolutely. You can just spill the
Yeah.
beans as part of that.
I got to meet Captain Janeway, or Admiral Janeway.
Admiral Jane.
I
Ooh,
almost
that's
sat in
very
the
cool.
captain's chair. I was like this close.
Nice.
How many more?
One.
One. You said 3
And then
questions, right?
and then the rest
Yeah,
are in momentum.
and then 4 momentum. Yeah.
Captain
Yeah.
is absolutely terrifying.
I mean, he did beat the shit out of our friend.
It's true, he did.
Not
There it
just
is.
because of that.
See,
I realized
New-
this last night.
I was
She
a
told me before
little
we got on the
beat
transport.
up. So,
Complication time.
Yep. My head explode.
Jonathan, you're having a day.
Yeah.
You met the captain unexpectedly in a shuttle. You met Colonel Kieran Aris. You then almost crashed a brand new shuttle into a brand new spaceship in front of your captain, who had to save you from doing that. You then met your idol, Admiral Janeway. You then got called out by your captain for poking into secured files about the captain. You realized that he is also the masked fighter that beat the crap out of one of your friends. He gave you a mission, and now you have just been interrogated by an angry half Klingon. You suddenly realize that you're feeling quite nauseous.
I mean, I
This
was
is
feeling
it
quite
anime
nauseous
nosebleed
before
time?
this, to be fair. Like,
You feel the need to be near some sort of container very quickly.
Jonathan jumps
Oh no.
off of
Oh,
the
no.
bed, like throws
And
himself
I just
off the
slap
bed.
open Jonathan's like his cubby hole. I slap it open.
Yeah.
Right here.
Hits the ground on all fours, scrambles over and just...
Hoppa! There goes breakfast.
Mhm. I'm not cleaning that up.
I mean,
And that's where that scene will end. So, over the next few
captain?
hours, 3 hours exactly, Jonathan has a shower. He then finds out where the mop and bucket are and the sonic cleaning equipment for cleaning out a cubby hole that's full of vomit. And when he's done with that, he joins
4
the
of
rest
8
of
is
you.
not in their room.
The corridor that will now always smell slightly of vomit.
No.
It might be psychological. It might be no. And you just go and familiarize yourself with the layout of the ship. Shortly before pushback, you hear a few more announcements about disembarking of non-Endala crew, and then Beta Shift are called to positions to shadow Alpha Shift. At that point, you four are brought to the bridge, or rather, your positions are placed on the bridge. So, Jonathan, you're stood over the shoulder of the helmsman, who is Ensign Helmsman. Rock, you're at tactical. Saleya, you're behind the arch, kind of stood behind the shoulders of Dr. Anesthesia, who she's at obviously command level, and you're back up on the slightly raised the rostra area. 4 of 8, you're at. Have I covered you? You're at tactical.
Yep.
Yes, tactical.
No, he's tactical. I'm security.
He said, "Sorry, so sorry." Very much. Too many names in my head. You're at security on the other side of the semi-arch, and Captain Tren is stood in front of the captain's chair, and they get the all clear from Starbase 1, and the ship, under the control of Ensign Helmsman, because the captain might not be perhaps as confident in the abilities of Beta Shift right now as he would have been had things rolled better earlier. The ship pushes off backwards and then pitches round, and you see the interior of Starbase 1 rotate past. And then the teeny tiny window that you're aiming for slowly getting bigger on the view screen. And then you see that blue light shimmer across the ship as the Indala exits the camera, looking from directly above as the very tip of the nose comes out of the perimeter of Starbase 1 out into free space. Ensign Helmsman reports, "Captain, we are clear of Starbase 1. All clear. We are signaled ready to fly." Captain goes, "Thank you very much, Ensign." He sits down and says,
The whole
"Ladies,
time,
gentlemen."
Hawk has been just staring at the back of the captain's head. And being an empath, the captain definitely feels everything because he's not doing anything to hide it right now. He's just too. There's no shame because the captain is such a well-known and proficient combatant. It's pride that he did as well as he did. He held his own against this guy for 5 seconds, which is impressive. So it's just pride radiating off of Rock right now, and a desire to do it again.
So the captain turns, rather than just sitting down backwards, he turns and catches Rock's eye, and then just turns and then sits in his chair and says, "Ensign Helmsman, set a course for Magellan Prime. Warp 7. Take us out." From outside the ship, the nacelles pitch up into their optimal cruising angle, and the nose of the ship stretches, and the Indala disappears into warp. Just slips in smoothly as a fish through water.
I could have done that.
We jump forwards an hour or two, and a call goes out for all of the new ensigns to report to Holodeck 1. Beachwear mandatory.
Okay.
Beachwear. I didn't. Just walks over to the replicator. Bermuda shorts.
Very brightly coloured, not very Klingon beach warriors.
4 of 8 does not understand beachwear and shows up in their uniform.
Very Vulcan beachwear.
Very long robe. Yeah.
Very long robe. flowy, gauzy robes.
Yeah.
Jonathan turns up in like shorts, a shirt, a hat, flip flops. He's ready for the beach.
Rock is not wearing a shirt.
He's wearing bruises still. So you make your way down to the holodeck. The doors open with the because those doors are really heavy for some reason. And you step in, and beautiful. I actually have a map. Well, a theatre of the mind picture for this. Where's it gone? Hollow Beach. There we go. Ah. You step into golden sands, beautiful azure sea, a clear blue sky with a slight wisp of cloud, palm trees, some rocks in the distance, a gentle sound of bird song. It's idyllic. Some of the command crew are there, and the captain is there, and the first officer is not there, much to his chagrin. And people are being checked in, like automagically. Technology, yay. And Lieutenant Commander Tok calls, fall in, attention, for everybody to fall into line.
Yeah. Fucking beachwear.
Captain steps forwards. Ensign, welcome aboard the USS Indala. He doesn't make that sound though. That's just me failing to operate a keyboard.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, and then he has a stroke and dies. Internal bleeding. No, ensigns, welcome aboard the USS Indala. For all of you, this is your first ship commission. I understand that you'll be excited. You'll be nervous. You might be feeling alone or isolated. Space will make you feel all kinds of things, but look around. You are not alone aboard this ship. These people are your new family. Computer, show crew, holographic representations, the rest of the crew materialize, standing all around. This crew are your family. They will share your joy. They will shoulder your burdens. They will join you in success, and they will rally around you in times of need. You don't need to prove anything to me nor to the ship. The ship doesn't need you to throw yourselves into the line of danger to be impressive. The ship doesn't need theatrics or bold maneuvers. Approach each moment looking out for the officer on your left and the officer on your right, and know that they will be doing the same for you. Make the best decision that you can in each moment that you have. One ship, one crew, one family, one Indala. Delta Shift are covering the last 2 hours of your rotation, so you have some additional time to breathe before the hard work really starts. So, relax, grab a coconut, play some volleyball. We arrive at Magellan Prime first thing in the morning. Be ready to work.
4 of 8 has somehow found sunglasses and put them on because the talk of family has made her cry.
And the camera pans back as the ensigns aboard the ship get some free time to play in the surf and sun. And the credits roll. So we didn't get to do any mission stuff, but we got to do lots of character stuff, so that's okay. So, with a few minutes left to spare, let's start with Killian. Your first game, your first play at our SpectrumTTRPG table. Congratulations, well done, welcome to the family. Now you get to do your very first. What was your favourite moment for 4 of 8, and what was your favourite moment for another player?
Favorite moment for 4 of 8 was absolutely just the bad jokes.
I'm glad that there's somebody at the table to continue that whilst I'm on the other side of things. So thank you.
Try.
For somebody else, it's got to be Jonathan attempting to sit in the captain's chair.
So close.
Never hesitate.
Cool.
An opportunity presents itself. Strike.
Grab and plant. He's like, Riker, bang! Matt, over to you. You don't get to do many of these. Favorite moment
No.
for Jonathan, favorite moment for another player.
I'm going to cheat ever so slightly. Favorite moment for Jonathan was meeting Janeway. Favorite moment for another player, very quickly going to cheat. Sabina's Vulcan tone. Michael's just whole rock is awesome. And Killian's, I love all of
The
this.
makeup?
The Bergen.
I love it. The burb.
The Berg.
The burb.
Berg.
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 Berg is the word.
Berg is the
You know,
word.
oh, damn it, I was about to say it. Like, I have heard a certain piece of ornithological news that the bird is the word. Yeah,
Bird.
the bird is the bird. Cool, thank
Yep.
you very much, you cheeky. Michael, favorite
Yeah.
moment for you and for somebody else, please.
I mean, I got my fucking wish in like the first like 20 minutes of the game. So yeah. Like I don't know if it would have been better if Rock had won or not. But either way, it's great. Would have been pretty funny going into everything having whooped the captain's ass. But because 100% I would have knocked him out and been like, "What's this mask, Captain? Put it back. For someone else, I just feel bad for poor Jonathan.
See, true talk. Sabina and I were talking about playing a straighter-laced character and how that'll fit in a lower deck story. And I was like, well, Boimler is a straighter-laced character, and it's having that straight-laced against chaos is part of what makes it fun and endearing. So it's going to be brilliant. What I didn't expect was actually the butt of every failure so far has just been poor beige Jonathan. So, you know,
We'll just
see
switch
what the
off.
dice do next week. Yeah.
Poor Jonathan got to meet all the fun people and do all the fucking up. I'm gonna take the shuttle. Why did I take the shuttle?
Dang it. Here's my letter of resignation, Captain. Thanks and goodbye. Cool. Thank you. And Sabina, favorite moment for you and for somebody else?
Being here, getting to play a Vulcan. Saleya is just fun. Just oh gosh, just getting into the medical bay and just talking to the doctor. She's fun. I like her. That's gonna be a fun That's just gonna be a lot of fun interactions right there. For somebody else. Oh god, I'm sorry, Jonathan. Just all of Jonathan. That's just great. Just every time Jonathan came on screen, I'm like, yes, what's gonna happen next?
Yes, what's going to happen now?
Yeah. Are you having a bad day? Well, at least you're not Jonathan. I can't wait till you get planet side. That's all I can say.
Jonathan is
Cool.
not leaving the ship.
He's just gonna hide in his bunk and like pretend like the world doesn't exist. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, players. It has been
you.
a journey so far. We are now in open space on our way to Maglum Prime to see what awaits. Just with our last couple of minutes, I will share with our friendly viewers what is coming. So the mission brief, where is it? Here it is. The mission brief for our lovely crew is mission type relief mission. Maglum Prime is an agriculture planet. Don't worry, this is not going to be a Bajoran agriculture episode. It's an agriculture planet that has an ideal growing conditions for the majority of the planet for the majority of its orbital year. There has been an unexplained failure of their massive crop system. The planet provides necessary grain for the rest of the system that it resides in, and also enables trade between the local systems that surround it. It's a Class M planet, technologically advanced society, but low reliance on technology as a whole. There is ionization in the upper atmosphere that can interfere with communication / teleport / ship systems. What could possibly go wrong? The political situation is the population peaceful and cooperative. Their entire culture is dedicated to the harvest, and the connection that it brings them to the galaxy. Their belief system is that we are the harvest. Oh, isn't that lovely? The mission objectives, which the crew will have to keep in mind at all times: deliver grain supply to the Maglum people, deliver and deploy the first wave of agricultural support technology, commence the initial analysis of the environment / planet to determine the nature of the crop failure, and assist the people. There are some additional notes. Category 1 caution. Ionization in atmosphere can cause engine malfunction. Teleport advised. Category 2 caution. Pirate activity in the area. Sure, it'll be fine. Fine. It's fine.
I just picture us getting there. We are here to assist you. Do not resist.
Or you can't
Congratulations,
like
you are being rescued.
It's okay.
Cool.
4 is a liberated Borg.
Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. All that's left to say is a sarcastic but truly, honestly, heartfelt meant. Live long and prosper.